All right, welcome all. I hope you're well in spite of the terrible news we've been experiencing from Nice, France. And we're going to our first guest right now, and it is Julie Lone Key Alexander. She is the author of A Rose on the Steel Ground. The book is published by Tate Publishing. You can go to tatepublishing.com, amazon.com, barnesandnoble.com. She's here to join us, and Julie, it's so terrific to talk with you again. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing you, but we met, and it is a pleasure.
Good morning, Stu and everybody.
All right, you've got a really thought-provoking book, something that has been preceded, and I know your life now is excellent, but you've had a very difficult beginning, and I'd like you to talk about the book, your experience, and why you wrote it.
I immigrated to America in 1993, and I worked for the post office almost 20 years. And when the communists took over Vietnam, I was 10, and my family had a hard time to survive because, under communist government, everything is really difficult. And our business bankrupt, and then we just starving, and to be able to survive, I have to stand up with to face the world, to help my parents to survive. And then I earned a college degree in Saigon, in the University of Ho Chi Minh City. And then I have a good job there, and then but economy was so weak in 1992, and then I finally immigrated to America, so to be able to support my family as my father last wish before he died. And when I come in here, and then it's just like start from beginning again, so I really struggling with how to get a job and to learn English and everything, but I made it. So I wrote this book just for my son to know when he grow up why we live in America day after day. So the story been just like a message for my son. So 2009, I found my relative in China that my father last wished to look for his relative that he lost over 60 years. So I came back to America, and then I wrapped up the whole story. I just thought that I wrote the book and make a copy for each family member for the memory of the, how we struggling during the Vietnam War and under the communists. And then my husband, Richard Alexander, he read the book, and he said that the story is so beautiful that all American people are going to be really, really interesting to know.
Well, I have to commend you. You are a courageous, lovely lady. As I've indicated to my audience, I've met Julie, and she's really an inspiration to all. And it brings a sense of understanding in terms of not all people who immigrate to this country are bad, and many make contributions like you do. What is your life like today?
Basically, I'm happy. I work for the post office and meeting, helping people out there. To fulfill my job is really hard, but it is the pride of being American citizen, and thanking God that I'm here. I made it to America, and I just want to say thank you to all American soldiers and friends that helping us during the Vietnam War, and that the government let us come in here, and so to be able to get a better life and look for, to fulfill my American dream.
I want to say, are you surprised about what's happened in Vietnam? My daughter and son-in-law went there on their honeymoon, and they said it was an extraordinary experience. Are you surprised about the turnover there and the fact that there's a sense of freedom and it's turned into a great vacation resort? It's somewhat stunning to someone like me who's never been there.
Actually, that nowadays in Vietnam they are like really open mind, they know more like government control and stuff. Like when I was young, because like 30 years ago, it's really really difficult. Everything have to be follow the leader, the local government especially. But nowadays, Vietnam is really a good place to visit. More project, more investment from the overseas investor, and so it's really fun to go back to visit nowadays. Yeah, I admit it's really really beautiful country, with the ocean and the mountains, stuff like that. Well, I used to love. Yeah,
Julie, what messages would you like people to derive from this book, and whom is the book intended for?
We used to be, really, really miserable. And then for me, never give up. That's the biggest message I want to tell everybody, that how difficult life we're facing. But myself, I stood up and then facing the world myself and help my family. And I finally achieved my goal, and I'm really proud about that. So for my whole book, the story about I try hard and I work hard, and then I never give up, and that's how I get my successful today in my life.
Yeah, and you convey that message in the book. Have you gotten any response from anybody who has read this that is from Vietnam?
In Vietnam is right now I'm not sure, because the communists still have the really restriction about education and information stuff, like not really open mind about.
So hasn't that changed though now?
I think it's still really limited, because when I try to send the book over there, or you buy the copy of the music or books to come back to America, they have to go through the organization that they have to inspect it. So about my book, this is a true story of my life, but it's still, really hesitant to send the book to all the friends are selling over there. It's really restriction.
We've got just a couple of minutes left, Julie. Yeah. I'd like you to kind of talk to the audience and perhaps ask them or tell them something that we haven't covered during the course of the interview. Basically, a summary or some closing comments.
Okay. My book is about the struggle of my life, and from the communist over Vietnam to my immigration to America. So I just really appreciated all the supporting my fan and anybody that come to my book signing that really have a good compliment about me, about my story. And I just want to say thank you to all the fans out there. And if you have a chance, visit my website.
That's what I was going to say. Give out your website.
aroseonthesteelground.com, or get on the Facebook, A Rose in the Steel Ground, and or Julie Alexander, and then you will see all the my posts and informations and my book signing and all the events that I have, and all the talk that I have that I went out there, and I have the presentation with all the audience out there. So thank you very much for your support.
Well, thank you. You're a lovely lady, and you have a wonderful, courageous story. And America, all America, should be focused on it. Go to aroseonthesteelground.com. Again, aroseonthesteelground.com. I highly recommend this book. It's compelling, and Julie, again, thank you so much for joining us with your story.
Thank you very much, Stu, and thank you, everybody.
Okay,
have a great day.
You too. All right, we're going to come up on a break, and we're going to head again across the ocean to talk about a very difficult story that has come here as well, and that's the situation about radical Islam. Joining us will be Anita and Van Bozeman and their book, Radical Islam. Stay tuned.